Yeah, it's me, Uncle Ricky. Look, I'm here for another episode. I was trying to figure out what to talk about, and that really isn't hard because there's just so much shit going on in the world. It's just too easy. The thing is trying to decide which shit is important and which shit really doesn't rate talking about, at least not today. Well, actually, the decision was made for me because of a previous episode that I did talking about gun violence. And some of the comments I got back, and I'm not going to get into, this back and forth battle because it's not worth it. Shit gets out of hand, people say shit they shouldn't say, and motherfuckers get hurt, and I don't intend on getting hurt. Now, the thing is, the comment was made that because I've always, since I started doing this, I've always found that people on the right or on the other side, they always like throwing numbers at you, like that's supposed to, impress the fuck out of you and make you feel like you're automatically wrong because I have solid figures to support my opinion. Basically, I still don't give a fuck. Because for every number that you give me, if I'm anywhere near right, I can go find a counter argument that probably can be vetted and verified twice where you get your information from. Even though it does have some fancy titles, like this information was obtained from the United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of this, the Bureau of that, the Bureau of this. But when you just cherry pick individual figures to float your balloon, then your argument still is not valid, or it has insufficient basis to even be considered. But the statement that was made was that only 1% of the people that are killed in mass shootings in the United States, or only the number of people that are killed in mass shootings in the United States with a gun, mass shootings, that makes that redundant. Let me get my shit together. In the United States, the number of people that are killed in mass shootings only comprise 1% of the people that die per year due to gun violence. There, I got it out. Okay, on the surface, this grabs you because, one, that's a hard concrete number. Two, it's a figure that comes from some government fucking office, so you gotta give it credence even if you don't believe it. At least it's worth, putting it, burying it in the back of your mind and bringing it out when you need it. That 1% is probably a correct factor, but you gotta think of a percentage is just part of a whole. How big is the fucking whole? 1% of 10 is a lot less than 1% of 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million. So shooting that 1% at you, if you are maybe not inquisitive, or you're just concerned about your point of view, you grab onto that 1% and you make it your new God, or part of your religious fucking ceremony. I don't know. You elevate it to a status that it does not deserve. Then on the second side, person also said, basically, fuck me and my feelings. why do my feelings give me the right to invade their world? Well, first of all, I didn't invade your world. You were looking at my TikTok. So who invaded whose? And then second, if you don't care because it's only 1%, what does it take? Does it have to be 20%, 30%, 40% of the people that die in mass shootings, are killed, or only 1% of the total people that are killed with guns in the United States? We went over the numbers game. We can see where that's a fallacy. But let me shoot something back else at you that is another number that you should wrap your narrow-mindedness around. Of that 1% of the total number of people that are killed in mass shootings in the United States, 80% are killed with legally purchased weapons. Now, this takes into account that the definition of legal varies from state to state. The buy, ownership, and carry regulations vary from state to state. There's very little universal federal guidelines about who can own a weapon. There's guidelines about what type of weapon you can own, what type of ammunition you can use, how big a clip you can have, if it's a clip weapon. Blase, 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 but the rest goes back to the states. Now, %80 of the weapons that were used to kill 1% of the people that are killed in all shootings in the United States, doesn't that kind of indicate that if you can affect that 80%, reduce that 80%, that you may also have a correlating effect on the number? We're not talking about stamping out murder. Murder, you can't stamp it out because people just get fucked up and get fed up with people. People gonna kill people. I never said take anyone's guns, or I never even said ban any particular type of weapon. The weapon is not the fucking problem here. People are the problem. So if we can regulate the people that have guns, then, or not even have guns, if we can regulate the people that can buy guns effectively, fairly, and universally, in other words, you get the same deal in Blackstone, Virginia that you get in Santa Monica, California, or in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. You covered by the same law. You got to pass the same questions. You got to jump through the same hoops as everybody else. Now, what those hoops are, that has to be determined by the legislative branch of our fair government, and that's a problem within itself. But we'll get into that later. But this thing of what really got to me, it's only 1%. Well, what if that 1%, and maybe I'm getting a little bit emotional here, what if that 1% was your child, your 4th grader, your 5th grader, your senior that was about to graduate and go to some school on a 4-year ride because they were that good of an athlete or that good of a student? And just because somebody could go buy a gun and they got mad, they got pissed, they decided to walk up in the school and annihilate everyone in the room. Daughters, sons, husbands, wives, cousins, grandmothers, sisters, brothers, all with the flick of a trigger. The gun, yeah, it was a tool, but Like what fucking Lauren Boebert said, it could have been a hammer. I'm just saying it could have been a hammer. But realistically, it was a gun. So how do we keep guns out of the wrong hands? It's regulations, man. If you don't regulate who can buy, how many they can buy, and what they have to do with them to legally possess them after they buy them, then this shit is going to continue. Like I said, you can never stop it, but to reduce it, you know, that one life saved, that could be your daughter, that could be your wife, that could be your son, your sister, your mother, your father. You know, that 1%, yeah, that's a hard, fast number, but that 1% don't mean shit until it becomes somebody that you know. So why not get in front of this runaway train and work with everybody else to get your you know, legislature to do something instead of standing on your inalienable right, which is not actually an inalienable right. It's just the way you interpret some words. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying take away guns, I'm not saying ban guns. I'm just saying have a little bit better control. A lot of people don't want to see this happen because they feel like the government, you know, there's too much government involvement in their life. But the government is involved in your life anyway, whether you realize it or not. And when it comes to things like this, when it comes to the protection of the whole populace, the government should damn well be involved. Now, this thing of the comment was made that, you know, well, if you take, you know, like I said, I didn't say a damn thing about taking guns, but they said if you take guns, criminals will always have guns. Criminals will have guns, but you got to realize something. Large percentage of the guns that criminals have in the United States today were legally purchased somewhere else by somebody that passed that state's requirement. And with that, I rest my case. So goodbye, good night, God bless, and peace out from Uncle Ricky's house.